Lads, welcome back to a brand new preview on the channel, and we're going to be talking about tomorrow's game, Leicester versus Sheffield United. And they've got a few players out. We've been playing well, they've been playing badly. We've got a chance. Shouldn't have said that, should I?
If you don't have a song, you may as well not go to the pub at all.
Lads.
Watch this.
So it's Leicester versus Sheffield United at the King Power Stadium tomorrow night. And there couldn't be much more on the line, really. Leicester City have got to win all three games handsomely, you've got to say, because Manchester United are on the same points as them with a very slightly worse goal difference. And with how Man United playing at the moment, it could be feasible that they could score more goals than Leicester. There's only 3 in it, so yeah, we have Man United playing. They might bang 5 past someone, might bang 6 past someone. So Leicester have got to be flawless. But that's kind of similar to us because we are currently, we think, in a Europa League spot in 7th place. As long as Arsenal don't win the FA Cup, I believe. We're only 1 point behind Wolves in 6th, but it's going to be difficult for us to catch Wolves with how good they are in attack. And the fact that the next 2 games are Burnley away and Palace at home, and then they've got Chelsea away. So Chelsea aren't doing too well. They could take all 9 points there. And then the Spurs that are only 2 points behind us. They've got Newcastle away today, then Leicester at home, and then Palace away. So it's not the easiest running, but also it's not the hardest either. Because if they beat Newcastle tonight, they're 1 point in front of us, and that puts all the pressure on us for this game. And then after that, Arsenal and Burnley are both 4 points behind us, so I'm hoping that they don't catch us. To be fair, Arsenal are hosting Liverpool tonight, so if Liverpool give them an absolute stuffing, then yeah, I don't think they're coming back from that. So anyway, Leicester the league table. We're going into this game full of confidence. We've won our last 3 home games. Well, not comfortably. The Wolves one wasn't quite as comfortable as we'd have liked. But we've comfortably beaten Spurs and Chelsea recently. So why can't we go and beat Leicester away? After all, Leicester's only won 1 game since the restart. And this is the best time we could have possibly picked to play Leicester away from home. So the last time we played Leicester was at Bramall Lane. We lost 2-1. It was actually our first defeat of the season. Leicester went up 1-0. Jamie Vardy scored, ran to the Kop and went like that. Now, I've got nothing against Jamie Vardy whatsoever. I think he's boy done good. Got released by Wednesday and just worked his way back up, and he's been immense for the last few seasons. I don't care if he's a Wednesday fan, to be fair. Does it really matter? He's had his moment, so let's go and have our moment. And the goal came from Basham picking the ball up and just trundled along the halfway line. And then he had the ball nicked off him. And then Maddison played a beautiful ball through to Vardy. So yeah, not sure why he was doing that. And I can assure you he won't be doing that in this game. And on came Ollie McBurnett. A beautiful ball came into him. And he directed it with such pace that it just flew into the bottom corner, and Kasper Schmeichel had absolutely no chance. And after that, I thought we were going to go on and beat him, but to be perfectly honest, I don't think any of us actually knew where Leicester would have been kind of heading towards, because Leicester was second in the league for quite a while. And at the time, I felt it was either 2 points dropped or 3 points dropped, because I thought we were putting that much pressure on him that we were going to get a goal eventually. But the ball came in from a corner, bounced in and out of the box a couple of times, and then just landed to Harvey Barnes, and he absolutely lashed it past Henderson. I don't even think he saw it. I don't think any of us saw it, really. It went that quick, and I don't think I've seen a better goal from an opposing player. Actually, from any player at Bramall Lane this season. What a finish that was. It was a great goal to win any game. I just don't think anyone in the ground expects it from Harvey Barnes. So next up, team news, and I'll quickly go through the Leicester team first. So obviously Amate and Pereira are still injured. Soyuncu did something daft and got himself sent off in a 3-game ban, so that's brilliant for us. Soyuncu's really been their best centre-back for, well, all season. He stepped up and he stepped into Harry Maguire's shoes, and he's probably been better if I'm going to be honest. And down here I've got Albrighton, who's a doubt. Ben Chilwell is also a doubt, and obviously James Maddison, which is massive for them because obviously Chilwell, a left back, you could possibly take it or leave it, but someone as creative and influential as James Maddison is going to be a miss for him. But as I said on Twitter recently, if James Maddison has an inkling of a chance of playing in this game, I think Brendan Rodgers will play him. So yeah, unless he's got one leg, I think James Maddison will start. They've got to win these games, haven't they? And really, they've got Tielemans, they've got Iosi Perez, so they have got some creativity in there. But James Maddison just makes them tick, really, don't they? So this is one of the reasons why I said this is the best time to play Leicester. Obviously, they are without some key players and also been on a pretty bad run. And they've just come off the back of a 4-1 defeat at Bournemouth. Bournemouth's not took points off anyone for a while, so to go and beat Leicester 4-1 even with Leicester having 10 men is bad for Leicester. And for us, I think Wilder was hinting on the fact that Fleck could be fit, so that makes me think that Fleck is going to be on the bench. One, I wouldn't start him because of how well they've all been playing recently. I don't think Ben Osborne deserves to be pulled out of that team for Fleck. And two, if you don't have to, if you're playing well, why would you risk someone who's just coming back from injury? So, yeah, I expect Fleck to be on the bench, and I expect him to get some game time, even if we're winning, losing or drawing, because obviously, if we are winning, he'll probably like to bring Fleck on to give him a few minutes. If we're losing, he'll probably like to bring Fleck on to try and create something. So my predicted lineup is the exact same team as last time. Dean Henderson in the net, George right back, Ender left back, Bash, Egan, O'Connell, Berger, Norwood, Osborne, and then McGoldrick and McBurney. Fingers crossed, that's the other thing that I meant to mention. David McGoldrick was hobbling after the last game, apparently. Obviously, I don't think Wilder wanted people to know that, but the reporter, when he was speaking to Wilder, just mentioned it to him. Hopefully that's nothing, because we need McGoldrick in this game. But if McGoldrick's not fit, it's not worth risking him. He's too valuable to us. So if he's not fit, I think they'll probably start Billy Sharp, even though, I don't know, I just don't think him and McBurney work well together. But Moussa just can't play a full game, can he? Can't even play half a game, I don't think. So, so frustrating that Moose can't play even half a game. But let's see what happens. Fingers crossed for McGoldrick. Next up, players to watch, and obviously Iosi Perez and Tielemans, as I mentioned earlier, are very, very good on their day. Can both score goals, obviously both create goals, but James Maddison is the big miss. Jamie Vardy is obviously the player to watch. There's nobody like Jamie Vardy. There's no one even in the Premier League like Jamie Vardy. One of the quickest strikers in the Premier League, one of the best finishers when he's in form in the Premier League. Absolutely works his socks off too, which is just Jamie Vardy's style. Even though Kasper Schmeichel let in 4 goals against Bournemouth, I still see him as one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League. Obviously, Johnny Evans and Soyuncu usually are a great pairing, but obviously Soyuncu's not playing, so I've seen on Roy's View From that Wes Morgan's been touted to play this game, and he's only played 1 minute since January, coming on as a 90 plus 4 minute sub. So if you ask me, yeah, play him, because really, is he going to be match fit? I'm not sure. And looking at when Jags comes on the pitch, he does look a little bit unmatched fit, if you like. So if they want to play Wes Morgan, go for it, guys. Because if you think he can handle kind of McGoldrick's movement and McBurney smashing into him every 2 seconds, then that's absolutely fine. Now I've brought a mate of mine in, LCFC Boyer. He's going to talk to you a little bit about the Leicester perspective going into this game. And I've obviously done a video on his channel as well, so go and check him out. The link to his video will be in the description.
So cheers, Nick, for having me on for this opposition preview. So obviously it's a big game for both teams on Thursday night. For us, Champions League, because of Man United's result against Southampton drawing 2-2, it's still in our hands, which a couple of months ago we had a 15-point gap and we've been absolutely awful since December. Since we lost 4-0 at home to Liverpool, our form has been of a relegation team, to be honest. And that's not me exaggerating it either. If you look at the form tables and stuff, we would be sort of in a relegation scrap. So something's got to change for these last 3 games, and that's going to be incredibly difficult for us, particularly with the fact we've got one of our best centre-backs injured and we've got a lot of players injured. But in terms of you guys, you've been absolutely incredible this year, and I really hope you guys can get Europa League. I've been a big fan of what Chris Wilde has done, manager of the season for me, so it would be great to see a team like Sheffield United in the Europa League. So I hope you guys can get that, but hopefully not by taking any points off us. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if you came to King Power and got all 3 points. Last time out, we lost 4-1 away to Bournemouth, and it was a strange game. First half, we absolutely dominated the game, and we should have put it to bed, to be honest. It should have been 2 or 3-0 by half-time. Second half, Schmeichel decided to play red arse with Ndidi, booted the ball into the back of him. Nothing Ndidi could have done about it. Ndidi gave away a penalty, and to be honest, he was lucky not to get sent off, in my opinion. And from that point, they scored the penalty, then countered very quickly, and Siunchu got himself sent off for an off-the-ball incident, which was incredibly stupid of him. He's come out and apologised and stuff, but he's going to be a massive miss to the end of the season for us. So, yeah, it's not looking great for us in terms of form, because before that, we've only really drawn. The only win we've had since the restart was against Palace, and Palace gift-wrapped us that win. They gave us 2 very, very cheap goals. I'm hoping the 4-1 loss to Bournemouth can really be a kick up the backside to a lot of these players, because I am still hopeful that we can get top 4, but we've got to start delivering, because if we lose to you, I'd say it's all but over. But in terms of Sheffield United players that can hurt us, it's quite a difficult one for you guys, because I don't mean this to sound sort of rude or disrespectful. There's not one player that I look at that I think can really cause us damage. It's more the collective unit of how you play football, the intensity and stuff. Because if you come and play sort of how you've been playing, and we play how we've been playing over the last couple of weeks, I can see you guys absolutely blowing us away. So we need to match you guys for intensity, which will be very, very difficult. But yeah, it's not one specific player. I know you've got McBurney, who's doing well, McGoldrick, who got his first couple of Premier League goals, who's a crucial man for you guys. So it's a difficult one. So it's not one specific player. It's just if you guys click as a team and play as a team, as you have been for a lot of this season. But in terms of the starting 11 for Leicester, this could be absolutely anyone. And we've got so many players injured and suspended, so it could be absolutely anything or any system. But I'm going to go with the 5 at the back that we've seen a couple of times this season. So in goal, it's going to be Schmeichel, and he's been our standout player since the restart of the Premier League. And then at left wing back, we're going to have to go with Fuchs, because we don't have Chilwell, which is going to be a big miss for us. He has been over the last couple of games. And then as for 3 centre-backs, so obviously no Siunchu, which is a huge loss for us. So I'm going to go with Johnny Evans, whose leadership will be crucial for us, not just in this game, but the last 2 games of the season, to hopefully see us into a Champions League spot. And then I'm going to go with Wes Morgan, which I really don't want to have to play Wes Morgan. His legs are completely gone, but it's sort of the only option we've got. And then Ryan Bennett, who's actually done really well on loan from us from Wolves. So I'm not too worried about seeing Ryan Bennett, but it's more the Wes Morgan fact that I worry about slightly. We've got Benkovic, but he's out on loan at Bristol City, and I don't think we can recall him, which isn't ideal at all. But then at right wing back, we've got James Justin, and he's a youngster that we brought from Luton and stuff. He's doing okay, but he's coming to the position that Ricardo Pereira, one of our main creative outlets, was playing. And it was an incredibly hard job for him to come in and fill, but he's doing okay. I'd like to see a little bit more of him going forward, but again, Ricardo Pereira's a huge miss for us on that right-hand side. And then the 2 holding midfielders will be Ndidi and Tielemans. So Ndidi, obviously, very, very good player, and Tielemans, he's played more as a box-to-box for us this year, but when he has played as that holding midfielder, I think it suits him a bit more, because he can sit back a bit deeper and sort of be a deep line playmaker, because he's got the passing ability to do that. Then as the number 10 or the attacking midfielder, we've got Iosi Perez. Obviously still no James Maddison, injured, which is a massive, massive miss for us. But Iosi Perez, he's done all right as the attacking midfielder. It is his natural position, so hopefully you can have a good game, get on the ball and sort of drive at your defence and try and cause some problems. And then the front 2 is going to be Jamie Vardy and Kelechi Iheanacho. So I've gone for a front 2 because I'm never a fan of playing one striker against 3 centre-backs, which is what I'm presuming you guys will play, because you can get isolated very easily. And the service to Vardy hasn't been the best at all recently. So I think getting Iheanacho up with him can only be good things, support him and stuff. And Iheanacho's been scoring some goals himself. I think it's crucial that there is that link man there. But starting 11 I'm predicting, but it could be absolutely anything. So it'll be an interesting one to see what Brendan Rodgers does go with. But in terms of score prediction, I'm going to go 2-1 Leicester, but I'm not confident. But anyway, thank you, Nick, for having me on your channel.
And finally for this game, we're on to score prediction. And this is another difficult one. I don't want to be too confident because I know what happens when we're too confident. I think by looking at Roy's view from, it just looks like Leicester fans have given up on Champions League football. They've been there all season long, and I think they've given up. They're saying they're going to get battered by us. I'm just not that confident. Like, I am confident going into this game. Look at what we've done recently. But they've still got some really good players, and Jamie Vardy can beat teams on his own sometimes. But really in this game, Leicester's got to win to stay in contention with Champions League football. And I think this is the sort of game where we can afford to draw, but not afford to lose. So I think Wilder's going to go in there, kind of, let's just try and keep a clean sheet. So I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. That is me being pessimistic, I think. I'm hoping for a win. I really am. But yeah, I'm going to go for 1-1. It could even be 0-0. So yeah, hopefully we're going to at least get a draw in this game. Like, I don't think we can afford to lose. And the fact that Tottenham are playing tonight and we're playing tomorrow, that could put them in the driving seat. So let's see what happens. But even if we draw and Tottenham beat Newcastle away, yeah, they're above us. And finally, we're on to my favourite part of the previews, the memorable matches and then the player connections. But first, memorable matches, and I don't think the older generation would be very happy if I didn't mention us beating Leicester 5-2 away, going up, and Wednesday coming down. It was just before my time because I was 2. I was 2 years old at the time, so sorry I don't remember it. It was in the Dean and Garner era. I think they both scored in the game, but my app's not telling me that. But there's been some amazing games against Leicester in the past, just going through all the scores. So in 2004 we lost to Leicester 3-2 away. In 2005 we beat them 4-1 at home. In 2005, the season after, we lost to Leicester 4-2 away. In 2008 we beat them 3-0 at home. In 2017 we lost 4-1 at home. So lots of goals happen in these Leicester games. So who knows, is that an omen for this game? Now, player connections, woo! I love this part, I really, really do. And for today's video, the very first person that came out of my brain was Lilian Nellis. No idea why, because he only played 4 games for Sheffield United, but I remember him starting the season, one season. It must be the 2005-2006, because that's the season that he played for us. But he played 59 times for Leicester, scoring 6 goals. He was a central midfielder. Can't remember if he was an attacking midfielder or a defensive midfielder. But yeah, he came to us. We signed him. He played 4 games. I don't know why we only had him for 4 games. We sent him on loan to Coventry. Played 6 games, scored 2 goals. Then went to Plymouth and played 102 games, with Plymouth being the only club that he played over 100 times for. The next one I thought of was actually Barry Hales, and it's one of them where I thought, did he play for Leicester? I'm not too sure. But he did indeed play for Leicester. I was thinking, was it Leicester or was it Millwall? And he actually played for both. So he only played 4 times for us too, which is weird. We signed these players and then we only played him for 4 games. He went to Millwall, played 55 games, scored 16 goals, then went to Plymouth. Why is everyone going from us to Plymouth? And then signed for Leicester, 28 games, 2 goals. Then we've got a Sheffield United legend in Mr. Brian Deane. Obviously played for Sheffield United 3 times. The first time obviously being the best, 197 games, 82 goals. Pretty good. Obviously then went to Leeds, came back to us, and this is the first time I remember Brian Deane, because in that season, 97-98, it was Nigel Spackman's season, and he left after we sold Brian Deane and Jan Fjortoft without consulting him. Yeah, that's what Sheffield United used to be. But he went to Benfica, then to Middlesbrough, then to Leicester. He played 52 times and scored 19 goals, so it were alright. And next we've got Mr. Adi Akinbadbai. He played 58 times for Leicester in 2000 and 2002, scoring 11 goals. But I think I remember Adi Akinbadbai not being able to score for quite a few consecutive games and missing like really good chances for Leicester. If there's any Leicester fans watching this video, let me know downstairs what you thought of Adi Akinbadbai and all of these really. And then in 2006-2007 he came to the Blades, played 18 games, scored 3 goals, of which one was an absolute screamer against Sheffield Wednesday, so bit of a legend for that. And finally we've got Mr. Sheffield-born Harry Maguire. He obviously started at Sheffield United, he played 134 times, scored 9 goals. Most of those were in League One for us. I think that's the reason why he left, because obviously you can't play all your career in League One when we were rubbish at the time, other than Harry Maguire. I think he had a couple of games in the Championship as well. I remember him coming on and absolutely nailing Craig Bellamy, which all the crowd went mental like we'd scored a goal. But we obviously sold him on to Hull City, he went on loan to Wigan, and then he went to Leicester. Played 69 times for Leicester, scoring 5 goals, which isn't actually a bad return for a centre-back. And obviously then Man United put their hand in the pocket and spent like 80 million on him. Obviously not worth it, obviously. But who is really? Van Dijk, that's about it in the Premier League. But I've got to be honest, Harry Maguire's name is in one of my favourite Leicester songs. It also involves Soyuncu, but I'm not going to sing it. So yeah, you'll have to Google that one. And there we go, we're all done. Thank you very much for watching. Like I always say, we're really close to 10,000 subscribers, so hit that sub button. If you enjoyed the video, smash a like on it and stay in good, Nick.
Look at that ping from Norwood. Makes other teams look no good. We've got a team full of leaders. Alan Hill, Chris Wilder taught us. Yeah, there was us on the tour bus. Look how many goals Billy scored us. It's beautiful downtown Bromley.
We are the boys from Shore.